Well, it's 8:20 and I'm at the visitor center and the parking lot is mostly empty. So for once I've made it before the crowd. I still need to eat breakfast and like get ready for the day. And then I have to go in and get my backcountry permit. And I think they do like some kind of a safety thing or something. I don't know. They said it takes like 20 minutes. And then I need to pack, which means crawling around in the back of my car, trying not to crush my guitar and find where everything is gone. It's amazing how easy it is to lose things in my own car. As much as I love those tuna packets for breakfast, and they have lots of protein, there's only 110 calories in one of those packs, so I'm trying to like get a proper meal in. So I'm having honey with a knife because it's frozen, so it's not like a liquid right now, it's more of a solid. I'm gonna dig it out of there. Trying to get my calories in before I go out for a overnight trip. This is gonna fucking hit so hard, bro. I've never gone through the process of getting a backcountry permit before, which is kind of why I'm doing this, just to say I've done it, I guess. So I don't really know what to expect. So I'm not gonna look it up or anything, because I don't want to like get nervous and think that it might be embarrassing and then I won't do it. So I'm just gonna go in and see what happens. Okay, well that was really easy. I've got it and it's free, so. It's a warm one already. Well, I'm at the trailhead. It's almost 1 o'clock because I've never done anything in a timely manner in my whole life. Well, I don't know what you are, but I don't like you. I've got my window covers up so nobody can see in and like the sun doesn't come in and melt everything. Now, I didn't really have any like good reason for doing this besides just something to do, I don't know, for the plot. But now that I've been getting ready for it and stuff, I am getting excited. I'm also thinking maybe I should have been ready earlier, but I don't know what I possibly could have done. If I knew how to not be late to everything, then I wouldn't be late to everything. And it's pretty warm out. It's like 70 degrees, but of course the sun is hot. And I got pretty warm driving here because apparently my air conditioner doesn't really work worth a damn. So that's good to know. So the trail is 5 miles out, and then it meets with another trail there that's on a ridge. So I'm not necessarily set on like doing the whole thing out and back because I don't think I'll be able to camp at the end because it's on a ridge. It'll be easier to camp when it's more in the canyon. So if that's how it ends up going, that's how it ends up going. I'm not really attached to any plans. You know, we're all gonna die one day. You might as well go camping in the desert sometimes. Well, another day, another situation. Today, my Garmin decided that it doesn't want to work and it just wants to drain its battery very rapidly. So I just went anyways. I mean, I have satellite on my phone and I think I turned it all the way off. So if I needed to, I could turn it back on and use it like if I needed to SOS. But if I try and leave it on to send, like, track my coordinates to my dad, it'll die in 5 minutes. So I don't know what's going on there. Might need to get in contact with Garmin once I get off the trail. Yay. Now, I don't think I could possibly get lost here because I'm pretty much following the wash the whole way. And you can see out there, like, the entrance to the canyon. So if I was lost, I could literally just follow that. and I would get out. Well, I'm 1 hour in. Taking a break here among the bees. I'm kind of being swarmed by bees right now. I think they might have those, like, what are they called? Like the Africanized honeybees, also known as killer bees or something like that. Is that what they're called? Probably. And I hope my dad isn't having a heart attack right now, since I texted him that my Garmin wasn't working and then pretty much immediately lost cell service and continued into the canyon anyways. Maybe I'm a terrible person for that. I don't know. I swear they're following me. Well, I'm on to the second part of the trail now, which is the uphill climb part. Probably don't quite have enough time to finish it before dark, but that's fine. Oh, look at that. I think that's where I came from. And then I came through there. It's awfully steep, but nothing I can't do. Can you see the bees? Oh, they stopped. I've about had enough of these fucking bees. Actually, looking at the map, it looks like if I take the trail to the end, maybe that's where the flattest camping spots will be. And I could get there in time for dark, so I'll probably do that and see what happens. Look at that, bro. That's a fucking campsite. Fucking, okay. I'm literally right around the corner from where I said I would keep going, but look at this fucking site. There's like a perfect campsite right here, and I can't imagine a better place to camp, so I don't know. I might just stay, and I can do the rest in the morning. It's the world's tiniest cactus. Well, I've been sitting around for about an hour, and the sun just went down behind the mountains back there. The bees finally shut up and stopped buzzing around. I'm pretty alone. Earlier I thought that I could hear people coming, like from down in the canyon, but I think they turned around because they haven't come up yet, and I haven't heard them in a while. Let's see if I still know how to set up my tent, and if I remembered all the pieces. I left the rain fly because it's not gonna rain, and I've slept without it more than I've ever slept with it. It's so quiet out here. I feel really weird talking to myself. And if there's like anybody else out here, they can probably hear me echoing off of the canyon walls. And I did get cell service when I first got up here. I knew I would, since I'm up like on a mountain kind of. I thought, you know, there's probably cell towers back through there, and I would get service from them, and I did for about 5 minutes, long enough to tell my dad that I was alive, and he's okay. He's also still alive, hasn't died of a heart attack. And then I lost service again, but that's alright. What I really want out of this is to see some sheep. It said on the sign that they're often seen. I haven't seen any so far. Not gonna lie, I'll be slightly disappointed if I don't. What the fuck is up? Oh, not much. Just watching the cliff. Watching the fucking what? Just watching the sunset from the edge of my private cliff. Oh, my camera isn't capturing this. But it's yellow on the bottom and then like purple right above it. I'm in my little home for the night. It's been a couple years since I used this tent, and it's good to see that I left myself plenty of dirt. Well, it's 7:15, and I'm already going to bed. I sat around for a minute on my phone, and then I was like, I really just want to look at the stars, so I'm just gonna lay down, and I can't show you on camera, unfortunately. Of course, it doesn't pick it up, but I'm gonna look at the stars until I fall asleep, I guess. Well, last night around midnight it got super windy, which I knew would happen when I camped on this exposed cliff. Of course, that was a given. And that did wake me up for a while, but that's not surprising because I basically, from when I went to sleep to when I woke up was like 11 hours. So of course I spent some time awake in the middle of that. My sunburn from the other day is peeling. And there must have been like some kind of lunar eclipse or something last night, because at like 4:30 when the moon started to rise, I got up and looked at it and it was like bright red, kind of like big and glowing red. I was expecting to maybe be a little bit like anxious last night just because it's been quite a long time since the last time I went backpacking on my own, but I actually felt more at ease out here than I usually do in my car, which makes sense because I'm definitely safer out here than I would be in a parking lot somewhere. And I believe last night's low was in the 40s or something, which is why I waited until tonight to do it. Several days ago, when I was first talking to the ranger about backcountry stuff, the lows were in the teens. So I waited that out and waited for the 40s, and I was so much warmer last night than I have been for the past week. My sleeping bag is rated for 20 degrees, so I was actually a little bit warm. Last night I had to like unzip it and stick my arms out, you know? Look at this. It says, refrigerate or use within 3 days. What's the point? What's the point of jerky then? I've had this thing open for a week. Now today's supposed to be pretty warm, but looking at the map, I think that the steepest part of the climb is already behind me, and it kind of flattens out a lot towards the end as it gets towards where it meets with the other trail. So I think I'll just go ahead and finish it. So that'll make about 10.5 miles total for this trip, so not much at all. I might as well. And hopefully I can finish that before the hottest part of the day. Let's fucking do it. I think from here we go out and up there, and then it ends like somewhere over there. I used to think electrolytes were like a made-up concept to sell Gatorade, but they're actually very real, and you need them. Nothing hits like the cherry limeade caffeine with the grape Propel. Did I just splash that everywhere? This is it. Yo. This is from August 2022, and it's clearly old because this trail the ranger said that I could do, and then it also says the trail I'm currently on is only available for day use, which obviously I got an overnight permit for it. So somebody just forgot about this up here. Bruh, you'll never believe it. I got 3 bars of 5G up here, and I can't even see, like obviously I can see a long ways out there. Yeah, but like I can't see any like towns or where the cell towers would be, but I got great service up here. And I've also got bees. Bruh, I just went online and tell me why I'm seeing articles about measles, a measles outbreak in Texas and New Mexico. Why does it have to be where I am? I left Kansas City and that's where the tuberculosis was, and now I'm in the measles area. Well, it took me 2.5 hours to get to the spot where I slept, and then an hour and a half to get to the end of the trail, so I'm looking at probably 4 hours to get back down, which would have me down at 3 o'clock, which is kind of late, and it's gonna be hot towards the end, but it is what it is. And that's where I slept, right there. It's 5 past noon, and I'm back at the place where I slept. This is actually really good warm. I'm trying to get a tan so when I go on a family vacation in a couple weeks I won't burn. Made it back to the wash. Look at that, it's a tiny little hoof. That is warm. Here's the camping sign. Almost out. That's the top of the bathroom right there. The water in my cup is still cold, so I'm starting to understand why my mom thought that I needed a hydro flask. Once I get started sitting here taking a break, then I won't stop. So before I even start, I'm gonna drive to the Rattlesnake Springs area, which is like a picnic area or something that is part of the national park. It's really close by. Okay, I'm at Rattlesnake Springs. I'm the only one here, and there's like trees, like full-size regular trees. I haven't seen one of those in a little while. Check it out. There's a whole flock of wild turkeys over there and I didn't even notice them. As I was driving in, there was a sign that I didn't read, and out of the corner of my eye, I thought that it might have said that this area closes half an hour before sunset. I'm scared of getting locked in and then getting ticketed for being in here. That would be a stupid thing to get a ticket for. I do need water to make it through tonight, so I was gonna just stop at that public restroom and get water from the sink. I probably smell. I probably shouldn't go around people. I should probably change my clothes while I'm here where nobody else is. I'll figure it out. And isn't this so lovely? The skin mustache. What we got in the bathroom? $1 million. Excuse me. I just got to the campground and there's literally like 1 million people here. It's so busy. And it's a Monday. Okay, how do we think the Garmin's doing? 40. Okay, it only lost 1% while it was off. So it was at 50 before I started my trip. So if I had actually needed to SOS, it would have been usable. I just would have needed to turn it on and then do it. So still don't really know what was happening there. Well, I guess at some point in the video I should say that I'm at Carlsbad Caverns National Park, and the trail that I just did was the Slaughter Canyon Trail, not to be confused with the Slaughter Canyon Cave Trail, which is shorter and steeper. So it was 10 miles total, like 5 out and 5 back, and I was in there for slightly over 24 hours, like it was like 25 or 26 hours. I had 6 liters of water. There's no water along the way at all. And yeah, it wasn't really hard. Navigation was very doable. It's free. It's free to get a backcountry permit. And they didn't even look at my like annual pass or anything. They would have looked at my pass to let me go in the cave, which I have done a couple times. But just to get the backcountry permit, they didn't look at my pass to get into the park, and then the permit itself was free. There wasn't really much of a safety briefing like the first ranger said that there would be. I don't know if the guy who did my permit, he seemed like he hadn't really done a lot of permits, but it was fine. I mean, I knew what I was doing. I don't need, you know, I don't need to be told how to not die in the desert. It's also February right now. The high on the second day, the high was 80 degrees, so that was the hottest temperature I encountered, and of course it was sunny. If it was a lot hotter than that, it would not have been as fun because I would have been carrying, of course, more water, which means more weight. 6 liters is, I believe, 12 pounds of water. So all told, it was probably like a 30-pound pack, which it didn't feel heavy at all, really. It's been a while since I carried a heavy pack, but it didn't feel too bad. By the end, of course, I was ready to have it off. And like I said earlier, I didn't really have a real reason for doing this. Of course, I've been backpacking before, but I've never actually done it in a national park, like within the park boundary. And I just wanted to, you know, now I can say that I've slept inside a national park. And the cave here is really cool too. Obviously, that's the main attraction at Carlsbad Caverns, and that's super cool. I've been down there twice. I also summited Guadalupe Peak 2 days before I started my backpacking trip, and that's just right around the corner from here. So it's a really neat area. The boondocking is really easy. Don't let anybody tell you that, like, because you're a woman or something, like, you shouldn't go camping alone. Like, you're way safer in the wilderness than you are around any man. You're more likely to be hurt at home by your husband or your boyfriend than you are by anything that's outside in the wilderness. So go outside, it's fine. And if you die, you fucking die. Who cares? I used to tell my parents, because they were like upset that I wasn't going to college, and then they were upset that I wanted to like travel, and of course I didn't have any friends to travel with, and I would tell them I'm safer in the woods than I am on a college campus, and they couldn't argue with that because they know it's the truth. So that's that. Thanks for watching. If you watched this, I don't know that anybody's gonna watch this, but if you did, I guess that's cool. I'm probably headed down to White Sands National Park today, and then after that, who knows? So stay tuned if you want to see that.